Can you all see what's on the screen, guys? Can you all see the Mishnahs?
Yeah.
Right, terrific. So let's go. So Perik 6. Okay, so says the Mishnah. Haviyu lefanav meliach tchila. Now this is going to be quite interesting for you because you're going to see something that's quite interesting that you've never heard before. Because we've learned already that if you are going to have bread putters, bread makes it okay for everything else that you eat, right? Everything else. That's the basic rule. But look what it says here. Let's say they brought you some type of salty food, okay? Before the actual meal, like as an appetizer, maybe at the brocha even. The brocha, they brought you the salty food. Upat imo, and it's got bread, and the purpose of the bread is you put it on the bread and it absorbs the salty taste a little bit. What brocha do you think you make, guys?
Hamotzi.
Would seem to be hamotzi, right? Listen what the Mishnah says. The Mishnah says, "Mavarech ala maliyach u'poiter es hapas." That you make a brocha not on the bread, but you make a brocha on the salty food. So let's say, for example, you've got smoked salmon. Okay, it's quite salty, and you bring the bread, and the purpose of the bread is not to eat the bread. The purpose of the bread is to have is to give to something, to put the smoked salmon on, right? Right, because you really want the smoked salmon, you don't really want the bread. Could be anything. So says the Mishnah is that you make a bracha on what? On the maliach, on the smoked salmon, u'poiter sapat. Why? And this is important. She'apat tefela lo. Because the bread is less important than the salty food. Zehaklal. And this is the general rule when it comes to brachas. Because you wouldn't have thought that.
But like, it's talking about salt now, but in other ones, you say usually hamotzi for instead of it. Why now is it different to all times?
So this is what he's saying. Because I'm going to read this to you and you'll see why. The general rule is, kol shehu ikar, whatever the main thing is that you're going to eat, ve'imot tefela, and it's got stuff that is not as important for you. Mavarech ala ikar u'poiter es hatefela. You make a bracha on the main thing, and that covers the stuff that's not main. So I'll give you a perfect example. What bracha do you make on a bar one?
Shakol.
Very good. What bracha do you make on a smartie?
Shakol.
Right. What bracha do you make on a Kit Kat?
Mezonot.
Shakol.
Oh, I've got a machlaikas, an argument. Someone says shakol and someone says mazoinus. What bracha do you make on a text bar?
Mezonot.
Mazoinus. Oh, someone was about to say shakol. What did you, Rafi? Okay. So why would you say, if you're going to say shakol on the bar one, why do you say mezonot on the text bar, on the Kit Kat?
Because on the text bar.
Oh, hold on, I can't hear. Say it again.
Because the text bar has a biscuit inside.
Because the text bar has a biscuit inside. Excellent. Now let me ask you a question. Remember, we just learned something important. We just learned that whatever you feel is the ikar, is the most important part, that's the thing that you're going to make the bracha on, right? And everything else comes. So let's say the reason why I like text bars is not because of the biscuit, but I like a text bar because it's got chocolate on the outside, it's got that chocolate in the middle of it, and the biscuit just happens to be there as well, right? What bracha do I make?
Mezonot.
Shakol. But maybe Doron's right, because maybe.
Because you have to say.
Say again.
Because usually mezonot takes preference over shakol.
Yes, but what happens if the ikar for me is the chocolate, not the mezonot?
You do what you like the most.
I like the whole chocolate. Yeah. So that's a good thing. So the ikar, the most important thing, guys. I want you to know these words. The one is ikar, and the other one is tafel. Say those words: ikar and tafel. Ikar, tafel. Ikar is the important one, and tafel is the less important one. Remember that forever. You got ikar and you got tafel. So whatever is the ikar for you, you are going to make that bracha on, and everything else that you're eating with it is kind of included in that bracha. And
Why can't you say shakol and mezonot?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because that the halacha is that if it's in one food, like what bracha do you make? It's a good question. It's a brilliant question. But let's have a look. What bracha do you make on a tuna salad? Do you make?
Brachot.
Why don't you make berei pri adama? Because most of it is vegetables. So do you understand that these are? I'm not answering your questions now. We're not having a halacha bracha, which I want to do with you guys, but not now. I just want you to understand that that's the thing we have to be thinking about when we make brachas, is what's the important part and what's the less important part. Okay, what I will do is I'll actually I've got a list somewhere, I must find it. I'll send you a list. It's a whole long list of hundreds of foods, and you can see which brachas you make on them. Okay, and you'll be quite surprised, some of the brachas that you didn't know about. Okay, so that is one Mishnah down. I think we've got two more Mishnahs, guys. Two more Mishnahs. Two more Mishnahs of this perek. Let's rock and roll. Are you ready? I'm ready. Is it even one Mishnah? It's one Mishnah. That's one Mishnah. We're finishing the perek. Let's go. Achal ta'enim, if you eat ta'enim, which are figs. Anavim, which are grapes. Verimonim, or pomegranates. Mevarech acharei, and what bracha do you make after you eat those things? You make, which we call what?
Alamechia.
Alamechia, correct? So says the Mishnah, Mevarech acharein, you make the bracha that you make after then, shalosh brachot, 3 brachas. What are 3 brachas? 3 brachas mean that you actually say bench. So according to the first opinion in the Mishnah, you bench after you've had those fruits. Why? Because those are fruits, those are part of the Shiva Saminim. It comes on Rabban Gamliel. Sorry, so Divrei Rabban Gamliel. That's Rabban Gamliel. Comes along the Chachamim. The Chachamim say, no, don't be crazy. You make a bracha achat, 1 bracha, me'ain shalosh. Can you see this word? I'm going to highlight this word, if I can. Me'ain. Oh, what's going on? Yeah. Can you see that word? Me'ain shalosh. Sorry, can you see that? What does the word me'ain come from? So the me always means
From.
Or like. What's ain? Or ayin? Good. Me'ain shalosh, one that looks like it is the shalosh. That's what it means, me'ain shalosh. What is the bracha that looks like me'ain shalosh? That is alamichya or ala'etz in this case. Why is it like the 3 brachas? Because if you look at alamichya, which I'm going to bring up now, and I'm going to show you something in alamichya. Sorry, let me just write this down. Al-ha-mich-ya. Okay? So we're going to quickly run through this bracha of alamichya. Okay, guys? Because that is a key for us to understand everything that is happening. Okay, can you guys see my screen? No, you can't. So I'm going to just stop it and I'll start again. Okay, so here you can see my screen. Let's open this up a little bit bigger. Okay, this is the alamichya bracha, guys. Can you see that? So we say, okay, and then it says, I'm going to see if we can get the Hebrew. Here we go. Where do you know those words, Eretz Chemda Tova Ruchava, from?
Lamida.
Think carefully, Spitzi. Eretz Chemda Tova Ruchava.
The normal benching.
The normal benching. The normal benching. Okay? Where do you know this word? Rachem na Hashem Elokeinu al Yisrael Amecha from, Mr. Spitz? Rachem Hashem Elokeinu al Yisrael Amecha ve'al Yerushalayim irecha. Where's it from, Spitzy?
Normal benching.
Normal benching. Can you see we've got two things from normal benching? And then where do you know this from? Uvenei Yerushalayim irakodesh b'mehera v'yameinu. Where do you know that from? Someone else.
Normal benching.
Normal benching. So how many references did we have in Alamichya to normal benching? 3 times. 3 references. That's why it's called Ma'ain Shalosh, because in Alamichya are the ideas of the first 3 brachas of the benching. You got it? Okay, that's why it's called Bracha Ma'ain Shalosh. Let's go back to our what is this here? Back to our thing here. Just tell me, can you see the screen, or can you still only see what was on the Bracha Ma'ain Shalosh?
Only see what's on.
Okay, so let me just close it again. There's got to be a way, guys. One of you have to help me here to get onto this. Okay, so now you can see that's our Mishnah, right? So there the Mishnah says Bracha Ma'ain Shalosh. Aha, Rabbi Akiva Omer. Listen to what Rabbi Akiva says. Now this, so we understand. You either make the whole benching on Shiva Saminim, or you make Bracha Ma'ain Shalosh, or you say Alamicha. And Rabbi Akiva comes and says something that's completely crazy. Listen what he says. Rabbi Akiva Omer, Afilu Achal Shelek. If all you ate was some vegetables, the humas or no, let's say you're a vegetarian and you don't eat bread and you don't eat meat and you don't eat any fruit. All you eat is vegetables. Firstly, we have to give such a person a special bracha that they should be well. Okay, that's one thing. But more importantly, what bracha do you make? The humas or no, that's his complete meal. Says Rabbi Akiva, Mevarech acharav shalosh brachot. You do the full benching over your vegetables. Can you imagine that? What do you think of that, guys? What do you think of that? And then we're going to finish off and say the following: Hashoisem mayim, a person who drinks litzma, or because they're thirsty. What do they say? Omer she'akol niyeh bidvaro. What does it mean, she'akol niyeh bidvaro? That everything in the world comes at the word of Hashem. Everything happens. So every time you drink a glass of water, you must remember that every single thing that happens in this world is because HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants it to happen. Everything. That's why that bracha is such an important bracha. She'akol niyeh, everything happens because HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants it. That's what he says. He wants it to happen. Rabbi Tarfon says, Rabbi Tarfon says, if you drink water, you say the bracha, Borei Nevashot Rabot, when? Before it would seem evil. But we know that that's not halacha. The halacha is you make Borei Nevashot Rabot when? After you've drunk even water. So we understand. On the one hand, you say, She'akol niyeh bidvaro, and on the other hand, you're going to say, Borei Nevashot Rabot, and when you finish drinking the water or the whatever it is that you say she'akol on, because we know that it's the most important bracha. And what I'd like to do with you tomorrow is we're going to look at the bracha of Borei Nefashot Rabot, and it will count as one Mishnah for you guys. God bless, guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful